In the famous play The Crucible by Arthur Miller, it portrays the hysteria during Salem witch trials. In the Puritan New England town, the trials hit the town when the local reverend catches a group of girls dancing in the forest around a fire, and then his daughter goes into a coma-like state. Many people get dragged into questioning about the suspicious witchcraft and even become targets of being witches. But while there were trials going on, the small town also faced adultery with someone who was idolized in the town. Arthur Miller became inspired to write this play because during the 1950s, the United States was under heavy investigation on who was a communist due to the Cold War. Hollywood was a major target for the investigation. Miller himself was called into questioning his loyalty for the country. And in his interrogation, he stated, "You failed to draw a line between advocacy and essence. Our law is based upon acts, not thoughts. How do we know? Anybody in this room might have thought of various kinds that could be prosecuted if they were carried into action. But this is an entirely different story." This connects back to the topic on how Miller is not willing to succumb to giving a false confession. Here's an example from The Crucible from Act 5, Scene 4, John Proctor.
My name I cannot sign.
Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me why you will not...
Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life! Because I lie and sign myself to lies!
John Proctor was beloved in his town and is known for being honest, upright, and blunt-spoken. But once the trials start, word got out that he had an affair with one of the accusers, and the perspective changed. In Act 5, Scene 4, John Proctor has been given a second chance but would have to ruin his name. The video showed Proctor refuses to throw his name away like that. In the 1961 short story Harrison Bergen by Kurt Vonnegut, it is set in 2081 in a futuristic dystopia, and everybody is equal to eliminate any competition and judgment. An older couple are sitting and watching the ballet together, but the husband, George, is handicapped due to his higher level of intelligence, especially compared to his wife, Hazel. As they are watching the performance, there is a broadcast warning people about a monstrous person, and happens to be George and Hazel's son, who is imprisoned due to his physical appearance and higher level of intelligence. Harrison interrupts the play and proceeds to rip off his handicap and others' handicap. The story ends with the tragic ending of Harrison getting killed and his parents not even realizing. What encouraged Kurt Vonnegut was inspired by the McCarthy era and the idea of living under a communist government. Here is a clip from Harrison Bergen.
That's right, Charlie. Nothing you saw on TV that night was real. Any more than what you're about to see right now is real.
No, son.
God. George Cameron, want to do something. Oh, my God, he shot himself! What's going on?
What just happened?
I'm not sure. Something sad, I think.
Harrison Bergen was a 14-year-old boy who was 7 feet tall, immensely strong, and very handsome, and goes against everything the government stands for. In the clip you just watched, he interrupts the dance show and demands everyone to take off their handicap. He proceeds to say that the ballerina was blindly beautiful. He says this because, due to the handicap, beauty was something that was not shown, because someone would feel bad. Harrison Bergen's sole purpose is to go against the government normality, and Vonnegut doesn't believe equality is going to solve problems, only make things worse. In both of these texts, people were either confining or rebelling from society.